Hey, what's up, Internet? It's your homegirl Nikki G, aka your couch potato here. So, I wanted to do a tag today, which is the mid year book freakout tag. And I know it's a little bit more than well, a little way more than mid year now, just because we're now in August. But I wanted to do this just to have like memories of the books I actually enjoyed. So, let's get into it and see what I got, shall we? Okay, so first question is best book you've read so far this year. So this kind of has to go to two books. So the first book is Survive the Night by Riley Sager, just because it was my high anticipated read, like of all time this year, just because I'm a big fangirl of Riley Sager since he came out with his debut book of Final Girl. So I was kind of really excited because I like slasher films and he made this into a typical slasher hitchhiker vibes thing. The second book is The Troop by Nick Cutter. So this was recommended to me by a friend, and he basically said that if I am a Stephen King fan, then I'll definitely enjoy this book. So I did, and I read it, and it basically reminds me of if it was combined with The Lord of the Flies and zombies, essentially. And it was really good, and it was really graphic. So yeah, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next question is best sequel you've read so far in 2021. So this one was kind of hard because I don't think I read any real sequels, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, actually you did. I read a lot of manga this year, and so I kind of had to narrow down which manga kind of surprised me, the one that kind of got me hooked, and I think that has to go to The Girl from the Other Side. So this one surprised me a lot because I wasn't expecting it to like it as much as I did. Just the art style of it, and then the whole secrecy of what's going on, like you're not sure. And I'm not gonna spoil it for you because, well, it's a sequel. So if you pick up this manga, let me know what you think, because I think it's kind of adorable. I love the artwork. I kind of like how they use the shading. It's just really beautiful. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next question is new releases you haven't read yet but want to. So this one was kind of a doozy because there's a lot of new releases that came out recently that I really want to read. So I kind of had to narrow it down. So the first one that I want to talk about is the Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm so sorry. I suck in names. So this one kind of just piqued my interest because of what it is, and then I found out this was actually considered more fantasy than it is horror. So I'm kind of curious to know what it is. I just know it's about like two siblings and they go back to the house, and yeah, someone told me they kind of make it seem like it's like the movie Boogeyman, if you've ever saw it back like in 2008 or something. So I'm kind of curious. The second book is Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell. So I've been kind of hesitant in reading this, mainly for the reason that this is the last book of the series. And when she wrote Carry On, I kind of took my time reading that as well, just because, I love them. I enjoy them because they came from Fangirl, and yeah, I just love Rainbow Rowell's writing, and I know a lot of people don't, but I do, so don't hate, don't at me or anything, or whatever the kids say nowadays. So I'm really kind of hyped up to read this, and all at the same time kind of scared. And the last book is Flash Fire by TJ Klune. I am a big TJ Klune fan. I've been obsessed with him since I ended up reading his other series with Wolf Song and stuff like that. And this is like his big book that he's recently come out that is like in bookstores now. So I'm very proud of the guy. And this is actually a sequel. So I'm kind of interested to know how this goes because the first book kind of ended pretty well. So I'm kind of curious what else is going to happen, because this is kind of like his reimagining of superhero tropes. So yeah, but instead of you following a superhero, you kind of follow like the sidekick, and not kind of sidekick. I don't really want to spoil what he is because he's not a sidekick. Just throwing that out there. Okay, let's go to the next one, shall we? Okay, so next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So this was a tie between two books. So the first book is Billy Summers by Stephen King. this is kind of an obvious one because I am a big Stephen King fan, so yeah. And the second one goes to The Last House on Needless Street. I'm not going to even try to pronounce her first name. I'm just going to say by Ward because I already messed up the other guy's name from the Book of Accidents, and I'm not going to try to attempt making another fool of myself. So this one I'm really anticipating reading because I am, like I said, a Stephen King fan, and I am such a nerd that I subscribe to his newsletters. So he recommended it, and I'm like, you know what? If the King of Horror recommends a good book, I'm gonna take it. So yeah, these are the two books I can't wait. Billy Summer comes out August 3rd, which is really soon. And then Needless Street comes out, I believe, September 22nd. I know it's the last Tuesday in September, but I can't remember when. And I'm really excited because I got an arc for it, so yay! So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next question is biggest disappointment. So I have actually two for these. So the first one is Whisper Down the Lane by Clay Chapman. Just saying, it was not what I was expecting because what hooked me for this book was the 80s satanic panic, and yeah, just wasn't feeling it. The second book is Night Neon by Joyce Oates. I was really excited for this one because I'm a big fan of anthology short stories and stuff like that. But I wasn't feeling it. I think I read two short stories from it, and it was just not for me whatsoever. And it's kind of sad because I like Joyce Oates kind of books when she does anthologies, because she did another book like American Gothic horror stories or something like that, and I highly enjoyed that. So yeah, I was just kind of disappointed, and it makes me kind of sad when I was really hoping for these books to do so well. So let's go to the next question. Okay, so next question is biggest surprise, and this has to go to Bonds of Brass by Emily. Not even gonna try to pronounce her last name. You can see it right there. This one surprised me because I don't really do sci-fi books, but I was recommended this book, and I was really excited to read it. And I read it, and I enjoyed it, and I was kind of surprised, pleasantly surprised they didn't have to do a lot of stuff with what is it, with like scientific terms, it's space travel and all that stuff. It was really dumbed down, and you had like a lot of action, funny stuff. It kind of reminded me sort of like a rom-com, but not really. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I was kind of happy I picked it up. So next question. Next question is favorite new author, and this is kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, I kind of just want to praise this author so much, and that is Kiki Burley. I think that's how you pronounce it. I suck at names once again, and all I was to say, I have went down the rabbit hole of like trashy romance books, but like I am living for it. Her writing style, her books, her characters, I love them. And yeah, just obsessed. Just look at all those sexy men without shirts on. If you're not into that, I'm so sorry that you're gonna need to bleach your eyes out now. So let's move on to the next one. And P.S. Please don't do that. That's like really harmful to yourself, and someone cares about you, so please don't. So moving on. Okay, so next question is newest fictional crush. So this has to go to Luke and Henry from The Invincible Life of Addie LaRue. And I know it says one, but I had two. So I really do like these two guys in this book. I'm not going to go into detail because, like, big spoilers. Just going to throw this out there that I wouldn't typically go for these kind of guys, but they took my heart away. The bad boy and the overall boy next door kind of vibes, and I was living for it. So let's go to the next question, shall we? Okay, so next question is newest favorite character, and this is a tie between two characters, and the first one is from A Fairy Bones and Gold, and that is Patrick Collins. He is hilarious and very headstrong. Highly enjoy. So if you like gay fantasy police officers that take down supernatural creatures, this is your home skillet. He is funny, hilarious, and also very sad, and I cannot wait to know more about him because there's more in the series. So yay for me. The next one is coming from The Extraordinaries, and that is Nick Bell, because he is basically the person in my head who's constantly talking, because that's what my inner monologue always is him. And he's kind of like someone I think I would be friends with, but at the same time kind of just like a very annoying best friend kind of vibes. He's awesome, funny, but he needs to like be medicated or something because has really bad anxiety issues right now. But yeah, these are two of my lovely characters. I guess, I don't know. So let's move on. Okay, so next question is book that made you cry. So this one was not really a big surprise for me, and that was Brother Song by TJ Klune. This is the final book in his Green Creek series, and just saying goodbye to these characters just they just made me sad. It is just any book series that I have to say goodbye to characters that I've like fell in love with because I've had to wait for the books over the years or weeks or whatever. It's really heartbreaking when you have to say goodbye. I mean, I could go back to them, but it's not like the first time I read it. So these were the ones. This was the one that got me the most this year. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so next question is book that made you happy. And so the first book that I'm going to start off with is Broken in the Best Possible Way by Jenny Larson. I think she is a great writer. She's hilarious, and I love the fact that she talks about like her mental health and how she deals with it, and just she's able to laugh off the really bad situations that end up happening to her because of her mental health. And it's just great just hearing someone else having almost the same issues as me, and just the way she handles it is just great, and it just made me laugh reading this book. So if you need to pick me up with some dark humor, then Jenny Larson is your person. The next book is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Once again, I am a big fan of TJ Klune, so this was a wonderful book. This is one of those books that don't actually have like a real plot to it. It's just cutesy, and if you need like a really cute like story to lift you up, I highly recommend. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, next question is most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. So this is kind of a tie between all of my Rainbow Royale books, Anyway the Wind Blows. So the first one you're looking at right now is the regular edition. I think this is so pretty. Like, come on, look at that forest green and the goat, flying goat on the cover. It's just, yeah, it was very pretty. And the next edition I have is the Barnes & Noble edition. So this one is more pink. This actually has fan art inside. And look at that sword. Come on. I think the color is actually like burgundy on the film. Or what you're looking at right now, it looks more brown. And I think it's really pretty. And yeah, I wish you could actually see what the color looks like because it looks super brown on camera. Okay, this is my pride and joy. This is a book I ordered from Waterstones, and look at those sprayed pages. This one also has the fan art in the inside as well, like the Barnes & Noble edition, but this is completely, oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. The pink, the roses, it's great. I think it's supposed to match Baz's suit. So I thought that was pretty cool. And just like the spray, it's just beautiful. I love it. The one thing I do hate about this book, besides like having to pay for shipping, is the fact that it is not the same size as the other ones. But you know what? I'm still gonna love them. And yes, I know I'm kind of crazy for buying 3 of the same book, but who cares? It's mine. So yay! Let's go to the next question. Okay, so last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And that is The Hour of the Witch by Chris Bohelen. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name once again. This book I've been trying to read since it first came out, but it's been really hard because just the what's the word? It's basically how they talk in the book and also how they're treating the main character, because it's a time where women were superly like suppressed and stuff. So it's been really hard, but I am enjoying it. It's just too realistic for my taste, which is not a bad thing, but just the fact of how they're just putting her down is just making me really sad. And I guess that's great because the writer is making me feel for this character, and just the fact that I just want to help her so bad. So I'm hoping I end up finishing this book because it's a really well written book and you feel the feels for this. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Laters.